give you extra time on this that we haven't used? No. Okay. In terms of border security, of course, this is very important. I'd like to tell you a little story, though, about a friend I had. His name is John Martinez. He was born Juan Martinez. He came to this country when he was 2 years old. I grew up in a city in northern Illinois about the same size as Rochester. I met John when I was 12 in the 7th grade. We became fast friends, and we've been friends ever since. He joined the military. He became an airborne ranger. Went out of the military in his 30s, and then September 11th happened. He re-enlisted, and he went to Iraq and flew a Black Hawk helicopter. This man's an American. This man's a patriot. I talked to John a few months ago. I said, so what do you think about this problem with illegal immigration? Here's what he told me. He goes, you know, my father emigrated legally to this country from Mexico, and he worked for a year and a half, and he got the paperwork in, and then John and his 7 brothers and sisters emigrated legally to this country. Here's what he told me. He says, people should get in line like our family got in line. He said, what about the fence? He said, that fence should be built because it's broken right now. You know, I've been down to the border between Texas and Mexico, and California and Mexico. I didn't do it as part of this campaign, but I've been there and crossed there. It's easy to cross. You can go to rural areas of Texas near Presidio where you can wade across the Rio Grande. We should consider it a privilege that people are drawn to this country. We are 5% of the world's population, and there are so many people that want to come to this country. If you want to have a debate about how much legal immigration we should have, or should we have a guest worker program, I think that's a great debate. I consider it a privilege to work with many talented individuals who sacrifice to come to this country, pick up stakes in one culture, one country, and come here, and they contribute. They really do. My grandfather was an immigrant from Ireland. He was an orphan raised by his aunt and uncle. He came to this country in his teens, and I was able to visit his hometown in Tipperary, Ireland, and see where he came from. I know my mother used to ask him, do you ever like to go back there? This was in the 1940s. I don't want to go back there. It's too much poverty. So we're blessed to live in this country. And to answer the question about are immigrants and immigrant children God's children, yes, I believe they are. They need to be treated with dignity and respect. But we do need to stop illegal immigration, because we will have even more of a flood if we have amnesty again like we did in the 1980s. At that time, we had about 2 million illegal immigrants. Now it's supposed to be 12 million, but we're not able to count them. One thing that the federal government has enabled us to do, and even enabled state legislators to do, is to enact something known as the 287G clause. What this is from the 1996 Immigration and Nationality Act. This permits local communities and state governments to have their local law enforcement officials trained as essentially INS agents. For example, if somebody's pulled over for a traffic violation and they present a driver's license, is that a legal driver's license? Are they here legally or not? Our local law enforcement officials should do that and should be directed to do that. I'd encourage those in the state legislature to promote the 287G clause of the 1996 Act. It's been there. Arizona, North Carolina, and Alabama have done it. Oklahoma and Arizona recently passed illegal immigrant laws with Democratic governors, so it can be done. I am against amnesty, and there's other things in terms of social services. You know, in certain states, illegal immigrants are able to get mortgages, and they can use banks that are insured by the federal government. That's not fair to taxpayers and citizens and legal residents. So there's something that needs to be done about it. And I can tell you, Tim Walz hasn't been doing it. Tim Walz was in favor of the pathway to citizenship during the last election, and he doesn't really give a clear answer, a clear position on this. And as constituents in this district, we need to demand that of him, or he needs to go back to Mankato as a football coach and a teacher. Thank you very much.